Hello there, my name is Dawn Priolat, and I am committed to helping you if you are a coach or a entrepreneur or any kind of person who's in sales and you have to basically put yourself out there in order to make a living. I'm here to help you to be able to do that. And the foundation to that is clearing your money blocks. And can I just get real with you? Um, I have no script here. I have no agenda, but I do want to give a message to all of you out there who are kind of on the fence. I'm about to start tomorrow, as a matter of fact, Saturday. I am about to start the classes for my new program, which is called Decide Your Destiny with Money. And that is starting tomorrow. And I'm not really here to sell you on that or anything like that. But what I actually want to talk to you about today is I want to talk about financial trauma. And I want to talk about what it is. And in order to illustrate that to you, I want to share with you about my own financial trauma. And it may not be what you think it is. So I want to kind of make that clear. So when I take clients through, really what I call the money map process, which, by the way, I did an entire 2-hour training on this, and I'll put the links below. If you haven't gone through that training, I urge you to do so. It's free, but it's going to get you clear about what's really going on with your money. So anyhow, as I take clients through this process, one of the things that happens on a regular basis is a memory will come up. Maybe we're looking at their debt or their savings or their income, and a memory will come up from the past, something very traumatic. And this is what I call a financial trauma, because what a financial trauma is something that happened in the past that when you think about that and you look at your money, you could honestly say, if that hadn't happened, I would not be in this position right now with my finances. I would not have this massive debt that I have right now, or I would not be doing this massive self-sabotage around my income, as an example. So, and I want to share with you, because I went through this process too. The process that I'm going to be teaching in my program starting tomorrow is something that I've gone through myself, of course. I test everything on myself first, and then I do it with my clients to make sure that it's going to work. And to illustrate for you, my financial trauma was, and I think we were looking at my debt or my savings, but actually what I noticed is that this same memory kept coming up in every single aspect of my money. That was what's fascinating about this. And so it's also a way to illustrate to you that one particular incident, one trauma, can actually be affecting every single type of money that you have. And not only that, this trauma not only affected my money, it also very, very much affected my ability to have a relationship with men, because it affected my beliefs about men. And so here's what the trauma was. When I was about 5 years old, my father had already left. There was a divorce when I was 4. I was about 4 when the divorce happened. So my father had already left. So here I was, a 4-year-old, having no understanding of what divorce means. I just knew my dad left. Okay, so there was the first rejection, right? And so my mom very quickly ended up with a new man in her life. And so this is the financial trauma that happened. We had moved away to Florida, very, very far away, and they were fighting about money. And I remember my stepfather saying, "These are not my kids, and I am not going to feed them. I am not taking care of them. They have a father, and I am not going to take care of them. I don't care if they starve." This is what he was screaming out full force. And here I was at the age of 5. And that shattered a lot of illusions for me that day. Because first of all, because my father had left, I was looking for another provider protector, because men are the providers and the protectors. The masculine energy is the energy of protection, providing. They're the ones that go out and do the hunting, right? They bring home food to eat. They provide for the mother and her children. That's how it's always been throughout time. And so here I was. I had been hoping that this new man was going to be part of my life and was going to in some way fill the space that my father had left. And so in that moment, I knew that wasn't going to be. And secondly, well, actually, probably firstly, I was terrified, because here this man was basically saying, I don't care if these kids starve. They are not mine. I'm not going to take care of them. I am not going to provide for them. So I felt very, very insecure and unsafe when this happened. And what this did to me at this tender age of 5, where by the way, under the age of 7, we're all in a state of hypnosis, because our brains are most of the time in what is called the theta brainwave state, which is the same brainwave state as hypnosis, by the way. So basically, and this is why, so from this time on, my life completely changed. Already I had one rejection by a man, my father, because he left. Now, a 4-year-old cannot understand divorce. A 4-year-old does not understand that it's not about them. In fact, to a 4-year-old, everything in the world is about them. It's my fault. So I already felt like there was something basically wrong with me. There must be, because my own father left. This man that was supposed to provide for us, protect us, he was already gone. Then the second man comes in, and he comes right out and says, "I don't care about these kids. They're not mine. I'm not taking care of them. They can starve to death for all I care." So, needless to say, and the reason why I am telling you this whole story is because I'm telling you right now, some of you may not want to take my program because maybe you're thinking, well, money's not my thing right now. I really want to lose weight, or I really want to find a relationship. The reason I'm telling you my story, I'm telling you this trauma that happened to me, is because I'm trying to help you see that it's never all about money. It's never just money. This same incident that affected my life forever around money also affected my relationships with men, my beliefs about men, because since that day, it became my unquestionable belief that men are greedy, men are selfish, they only care about themselves, men reject you, they leave you. I took on so many beliefs about men which made me go out into the world as an adult. And because I was projecting these beliefs out onto every man I met, I was actually looking for him to reject me. I was looking for him to be selfish and greedy and only care about himself. So what do you think I found? I kept creating over and over and over men who looked an awful lot like my stepfather in the way that they behaved. So my point in telling you this, and another important thing, I also took on an unconscious vow. I realize in doing the work that I've done on money, specifically on money, right? I have realized that I took on an unconscious vow that, I could be better than that. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be selfish. So I vowed to be nothing like this man. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be selfish. And here's the most important part of that. I don't want anything to do with money, because money makes people greedy, selfish, self-centered. And not only that, there was nothing going on in my life ever in my childhood other than fighting over money. Okay, so I made a vow. I don't want anything to do with money. I'm going to grow up and I'm going to prove I don't need money. I can just be better than that. I'm going to be spiritual. I'm going to be this healer in the world, and I'm going to help people heal and find peace and find self-love. And I'm going to prove that I don't need money. I'm going to prove that I can be better than that. And let me tell you, I proved it all right. I certainly proved it, because when I started, I was pretty young. I first got certified as a hypnotherapist back in 1997, or 1995, I think it was actually. Shortly after that was when I learned EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping. And then I was starting to blend those two techniques together. I became a certified Reiki master. I started teaching Reiki. I started doing hypnotherapy sessions. But the thing was, because I had this financial trauma going on, I was unconsciously trying to prove to the world that I could be better than that I'm not selfish, that I'm not greedy, right? So because of this, I couldn't charge enough to survive. I was struggling all the time, because there was always that one trauma controlled me to the point that I became an epic overgiver. Because the one thing that I couldn't bear was to have anyone even suggest that I might be the least bit selfish or the least bit, ungiving in any way. I could not stand to have that happen. And it controlled my life. It controlled my life to such a point that I had to constantly undercharge for everything that I did, which meant that I was constantly struggling to pay my bills under so much stress, because I was terrified to think that anybody would ever accuse me of being overly focused on money and greedy and selfish. That would have been like the worst thing that you could ever even insinuate about me. And it was all going back to that one early financial trauma when I was only 5 years old. That financial trauma was showing up in every freaking area of my life. It showed up not only in my money, keeping me poor, but it also showed up in my relationships with men. So if you think by any chance that this program that I'm starting tomorrow, it's called Decide Your Destiny with Money. If in case you think that this is just about money, I want to assure you it is not just about money. Because the things that are blocking you in your money, keeping you poor, keeping you struggling with money, constantly undercharging, undervaluing your services and what you do in the world. You're not just doing it with your money. Trust me, you're doing it in your relationships with people. Overgiving, undervaluing yourself, feeling taken advantage of, feeling resentful because you aren't able to ask for what you need, and then ending relationships all of a sudden because you just blow up one day because you're giving, and then all of a sudden you just explode all over the place, and you just say, I gotta leave. I have to leave this relationship because it's just taking too much from me. So, okay. That's what a financial trauma. That is an example right there of what a financial trauma is. But I think now that you get the point, this is not just a financial trauma. These financial traumas affect every single area of your life. So, here are some action steps that I would like you to take. Again, I don't want to try to sell you anything, but I'm going to tell you this. If you haven't seen my free training, it's free. Hello, it's free. This is a 2-hour training. I take you through a very powerful, clarifying process. It's going to bring you some real consciousness and some real aha moments about your money. I'm going to put the link below. Please, please, please watch that. If you do nothing else, go through that process with me. And if you feel that it is time, it is time for me to let go of all these financial traumas and all these blocks to money, which are, as I said, they're blocking your relationships, they're blocking you feeling good about yourself, your self-image, your body, maybe even causing you to protect yourself by holding on to weight, excess body weight that you would love to be able to release. So if you are ready to make that change, there's not a better time to do it than now. Because this program that I'm starting tomorrow, it's called Decide Your Destiny with Money. And as I said, it is going to change your entire life, not just your money. And the reason why you want to do it now is because now I'm doing the classes live. You will have me 6 live modules that I'll be doing with you in person, and there will also be 3 Q&As. Again, live Q&As, and it's going to be done in video format. You'll be able to see me, my actual face, my smiling face looking at you. And I will actually have some slides as well for those of you who are very visual learners. Not a better time to do it than now. Also, the price that I'm offering it at right now, you probably will never see again. I'm just going to be completely honest with you because, I tried to make this as easy as I can for all of you. I even have a 3-pay plan. But I'm telling you, if you're ready, if you want 2019 to be a new experience for you in terms of your money, in terms of your relationships, because I would almost bet your relationships are going to improve too. Because when you value yourself more and you release some of these traumas, everything's going to get better for you. And if that's not enough, I still have some spots open. I think I have a few spots open. If you sign up now, you will get a free medical intuitive reading with me. And that is a $397 value. Okay, so it's a no-brainer. Like, do it now. Again, I'm going to put the links below. And I would love to hear from you. As I told my story about my financial trauma, I'd like you to share with me in the comments below, what is your financial trauma? Did something come up for you when I was telling my story? Something that you know is probably blocking you in your money. So go ahead and click the links below, see the training. You can sign up for my program below if you're ready to change your life. And I hope to see you tomorrow in the training. Ciao for now.